Hello everybody. Sorry, there was a technical difficulties. Sorry, I think you can hear me now. Okay. Okay. So we were supposed to start economic growth, paper 2 today. Okay. So economic growth is a situation where you can we talk about the growth of the economy. That means the rise in the output of the economy. Sorry, I'm having a bad throat. Okay. Okay, that means when the output or the income or the expenditure of the economy increases, it's known as economic growth. Okay, so this is the starting of the macroeconomics. Okay, so macroeconomics is basically the study of the economy as a whole. Okay, and whereas if we think about the last few chapters, okay, that means chapter 1 to chapter 24, we talked about microeconomics, where we talked about the individual part of the economy, right? But here, from now on, from chapter 25, we will talk about the overall economy. Study about the overall economy. Okay, so these are the basic macroeconomic objectives, okay, that we will study now. So the first one is economic growth. Okay, so if these economic indicators like economic growth, inflation, then unemployment or balance of payment, if this kind of economic indicator is positive, then we can say that the economy will be in a good situation. But if the economy is not doing well, that means this indicator will show a negative effect. Okay, so let's focus on economic growth. So economic growth, it can be is a situation like we already discussed, that where the output or income or expenditure of the economy increases. Okay, so overall we can say that the standard of living of the country will improve. Okay, okay. Next is how to measure this economic growth. Economic growth can be measured in many different ways. So the most popular method is GDP. That means the gross domestic product. So gross domestic product can be used to measure the economic growth. Okay, so see this and let's discuss a bit more about the other economic indicators or macroeconomic objectives, then we'll go in details about the um, economic growth. Okay, like we already discussed about unemployment, that means government needs to provide employment for the people of the country. If they fail to do so, then unemployment problem will rise. Okay, so there will be a negative effect on the economy. That means the standard of living of the people of the country will fall. Next is inflation. Inflation means that the price level of the country is increasing. Okay, so again this will be a negative effect on the standard of living of the people of the country, because they can't afford it anymore. Okay, with let's think about the fixed earner of the economy. They will be having a hard time because the price level of the goods and services they used to purchase will increase, so the standard of living will fall. Next is balance of payment or current account. So balance of payment is a situation that it's an account which records the all kind of transaction related to international trade. Okay, so government needs to keep a balance of this balance of payment. That means export and import or the international trade should be in control. That means like too much import is harmful for the economy. Okay, because it drains out all the money or the foreign currency reserve from the economy. Okay, whereas a higher number of export is a positive thing for the economy. Okay, Next is protecting the environment. Okay, this is comparatively a new topic because this environmental protection is something which is very important nowadays. See that what's happening that um, uh, environment and the economy it has an inverse relationship. Like if the economy is improving, then what will happen that the environment will suffer, because this high amount of production or consumption will lead to a bad situation on the environment, like pollution, air pollution, sound pollution, noise pollution. Okay, many different kind of pollution is there because of the production and consumption. Okay, so let's focus on the economic growth. Okay, this is one of the most important macroeconomic objective. Okay, so here see that um, so we already talked about GDP. Okay, so GDP is something by which we can understand the situation of the economic growth. Okay, if GDP is high, then we can say that the economy is doing well. But if the GDP is low, that means we are not producing much. Okay, so that means we are not earning much, as well as we won't be able to afford our expenditure. So it will be a negative effect. Okay. So next topic is the limitation of GDP. Okay. Hmm, what time is almost over? Let's see. Okay, so let's talk about the limitation of GDP, but it's a very important topic, and it consists of around 6 points. Okay, let's continue as far we have time. So next is the first one is inflation. Okay, like we already discussed that during inflation, what happens? The price level increases. As a result, what happens that what happens that the people cannot afford the goods and services they used to afford before, right? So that's a problem. Okay, but it also distorts the value of GDP. Okay, suppose the GDP was 6%. Okay, let's see, 2.6%. Okay, and at the same time maybe the inflation is also 2.6%. Okay, so if you adjust them, then you will find that there is actually no growth. Okay, let's see. Yeah, here's an example here. Okay, see, suppose the inflation is 2.3% and the GDP growth is 4.4%. So the real GDP will be 2.1%. That means deducting the inflation from the GDP. Okay, this will lead to a real GDP. That means it's an GDP which is adjusted with inflation. Okay, next we have population change. Okay, uh, I think we ran out of time. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, see you in the next class, inshallah. Sorry for the inconvenience for today's class.